Yeah, I'm Freddy DeMarco here hanging out at Sweetwater with the new Korg SDD-3000 Delay. This is a rebirth of the famous SDD-3000 from 1982. This delay actually features the SDD famous sound that it's known for, also 8 delays total, so the SDD plus 7 others. It has 80 different programs for storage. What's really cool about it that sets it apart from all other delays is the SDD sound. It has a preamp in it. There's an input. I can dial up this input and actually get it to distort if I'd like to. And you can see the LEDs into the red. Very often you don't want that, but that famous SDD sound is really clipping that input. It's a big sound they used in the 80s, and let me demonstrate that really quick. So if you listen closely, the artifacts on the repeats are coming from the SDD's preamp actually overdriving. The engineers did a really great job in emulating the artifacts of analog and tape delays. So here's an analog, and this delay is actually set for a repeat. So I'm going to play quarter notes, but it'll sound like eighth notes, very typical of a rockabilly. The SDD is capable of doing all kinds of different parameter settings and really cosmic sounding things. But what I like about it is it's also very down to earth. The engineers did a great job in getting just typical delays that you would use on the gig. For example, here's a tape delay that I'm going to use in a country or blues type setting. The SDD, of course, features delay times and feedback, but it also has a filter in the feedback section. The feedback would be a repeats, so I can filter both the low and the high, and there's different frequency settings, and I have a couple filtered now. I'm using this so the filter actually doesn't clog up the repeats. It kind of gives a bit of a lo-fi if I want it to. And this right here is the reverse delay. Now you may notice the left-right feature, because in the delay type section, they have what they call a left-center-right effect. So that was engaged. So I could use just typical panning, but the center feature, what happens is it hits the center, then bounces left, center, right, center. It's a little bit different vibe than just a typical panning. So you can get very detailed with this delay if you choose to. Upon being stereo input and stereo output, the SDD allows an expression pedal. So I'm adding an expression pedal, and this is going to control the pitch effect. We have in there a modulation section. It has 5 different waveform settings, including sine, triangle, square, random, and envelope filter. There's also an intensity and frequency, and I can have the pedal control some of those parameters. So I'm using the pitch delay in this case. The SDD, having that modulation section, can really dial in some really cool chorus effects. The SDD-3000 has 40 different presets. Here's one of the presets featuring a flanging effect using the modulation section, of course. I'd like to make mention of just some other features the SDD has. As I did mention, it has that input attenuator, which is a preamp to get some really cool artifacts and distortion. It also features different input attenuation settings where I can have +4, -10, and -30. Then also there's an output attenuator, so I can also adjust that. So this way it can work with single coil pickups, humbucking pickups, also professional sound reinforcement. The original SDD was used, it was a rack mount piece used a lot in the studio for delays, delays on vocals and drum kits as well, and this can be inserted just the same, and they give you those input and output attenuating features to accommodate that application. Thanks for joining me for this demonstration on the SDD-3000. For more information on Korg products, contact your sales engineers at Sweetwater.